Hello and welcome to this course on Kotlin for Java developers. Now before we begin, I want to introduce myself and what this course is all about. So let's start with me. My name is Dimitri. Here is a picture of me. I work in an area called Quant Finance, which is a mixture of math and finance and some computing, including really curious applications of high-performance computing. Now, I am a frequent conference speaker, a blogger, a podcaster, and fairly involved in the developer community. And this is a course on Kotlin, which is a JVM language. Now, knowledge of some amount of Java is assumed for this course. This is, after all, a course for Java developers. But the course is entirely composed of live coding. There is no theory, no slides. There's simply me and the IDE and us talking about some of the examples of the language. All right, so what is Kotlin exactly? Well, as you know, Java is probably the most popular general-purpose programming language out there. Unfortunately, it's evolving very slowly. And when Java developers look at languages such as C#, which have a lot more features, it's understandable that they might get a bit jealous. So if you want some crazy, awesome features of a modern programming language, then you basically have to switch from Java to something else. And it could be something like Groovy or Ceylon or Scala. But we're going to talk about Kotlin, which is a language produced by a company called JetBrains. Now, what is Kotlin all about? What are the advantages? Well, Kotlin is a statically typed language. It still targets the JVM, although as an additional feature, it also targets JavaScript. We're not going to talk about the JavaScript side of things in this course, but I just wanted to mention that it's also available. And Kotlin is open source. It has an Apache 2 license, and you're welcome to submit your own pull requests into the Kotlin trunk. All right, so what are the advantages of Kotlin? Well, the first advantage is interoperability. Now, Kotlin was made with interop in mind, and the idea is that people who are switching to a language like Kotlin might already have lots and lots of Java code bases that they want to integrate with a new language. So Kotlin is very attuned to this kind of operation. In addition, Kotlin is designed to be of a performance not slower than Java, so you're not going to experience any losses there. Kotlin has obviously modern programming language features. That's what this entire course is all about, looking at the exact awesomeness of those features and how you can leverage them. And finally, I wanted to mention excellent toolability. So you can essentially, with a language like Kotlin, you can get really good tools which are easier to use and which actually provide you more functionality than with a language such as Scala. All right, so what exactly is in this course? Well, first of all, we're going to do an introduction. This is part of an introduction. We're generally going to talk about where you actually get Kotlin and how you can install it or use the online version, and then we'll go through each of the aspects, and we're specifically going to focus on the differences. So we'll take a look at Kotlin versus Java, and I'll explain what the specifics are. So there will be no basics here for Java developers. It will be simply, here is how Kotlin does it, and here is why it's better. We're going to talk about types and variables. We're going to talk about the control flow and some of the options that Kotlin provides in this regard. We're going to talk about functions. Then we're going to talk about Lambda functions and functional literals specifically, because there's plenty of very special work that Kotlin has done in this regard. Then we're going to talk about classes and generally object-oriented programming, you know, things like interfaces and all of that. And we're going to finish it off with a couple of extraneous topics like talking about enumerations. So what are the goals of this course? Well, you're going to learn how to solve problems the Kotlin way using the functionality that Kotlin provides. You'll also understand the advantages of Kotlin over Java. There are far too many. This explains why the course is so big, because there is just so many features that one needs to cover. We're going to learn how to effectively leverage Kotlin's guarantees with regards to things like null safety as well as mutability, and we're going to just have a lot of fun using a modern JVM language. So if you're ready, let's jump into the course, and please watch it in 1080p. That's what the course was designed for. It's the best way to watch, basically. All right, I'll see you in the next section. Good luck.